Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Steve Bettini. I'm here today to talk to you about Cedars-Sinai. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I hope at the conclusion of our presentation, you will have a better understanding of our organization and how it works. First off, I'd like to thank MSEP for giving us the opportunity to talk to you about Cedars-Sinai and the opportunities that the organization can offer military spouses. Cedars-Sinai has been a proud partner of MSEP since May of last year, and it's very rewarding working with MSEP, knowing and trying to help military spouses find meaningful employment. I'd like to get started by telling you a little bit about myself and the position here I hold at Cedars-Sinai. I am retired from the Army. I spent over 20 years in the military. And I know where you're coming from. I was married for a good chunk of that time in the military. And as I was married, I went through a couple of PCS moves. So I know what it's like to have to move around and find new employment as a spouse. But as a military veteran recruiter here, my responsibilities are to find veterans and spouses of active duty service members to work here at Cedars-Sinai. But one of the main responsibilities that I have here as well is to be the sole contact, the focal point for veterans and spouses to reach out to. If you have any questions, you want to get an update, you want to find out about what's going on, or you just have any general questions at all, I am the one that you will be having to reach out to, and hopefully I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. With that said, let me tell you a little bit about our organization. We are one of the largest nonprofit academic teaching hospitals in the United States. We have over 14,000 employees here, so we are a very large organization. Our medical center is located in the city of Los Angeles, and we do have several buildings scattered throughout the Los Angeles County, and some of them are actually located in Beverly Hills. So it gives you a little idea where we're located. Recently, we were ranked as the 8th best hospital in the United States by U.S. News and World Report. This is a huge accomplishment for our organization, and we are very proud of that, to be in the top 10 as one of the best hospitals in the United States. Something else that most people don't realize about our organization is that we do a lot of research here as well. We have on any given day over 1,000 research projects that we have going on. So we have a lot of stuff that reach out that most hospitals don't have. One of the other honors that we have as well is that we have been recently designated as a magnet hospital for the 5th consecutive time. What's special about this is there are only 9 other hospitals in the whole world that have achieved this honor of being selected as a magnet hospital for 5 consecutive times. So we are very, very proud of that honor as well. And it just shows you the commitment our medical center has to making sure that our employees and our patients and our community is taken care of. I'd like to give you an opportunity right now to go over some of our benefits briefly. We do offer a healthcare coverage for you and your family. We have paid vacation, we have paid sick days, we have floating holidays, and we do have a very generous retirement package as well that includes a pension, which is very hard to find out there nowadays, where companies are actually are still offering a pension plan to their employees. So given all that, I know it sounds great. You're probably wondering, okay, what can I do at this organization? One of the things that we do, obviously, is our patient focus. So we definitely need RNs, ward clerks, LVNs, CNAs, X-ray techs, all those type of positions that are focused on taking care of our patients. Another area that we have, it's really huge, is IT. We have a big need for IT specialists here in our organization. And like any other large organization that's out there, we have other areas that are not patient focused. We have finance, we have marketing positions, we have clerical positions, we have administrative positions, We have lab positions like clinical lab scientists and phlebotomists. We have community relations. We also have legal positions. So those are some of the areas that we have, and there are many more areas that we have, but that's just kind of giving you the tip of the iceberg to let you know that not only do we have patient-focused positions, we also have positions that you won't be working with patients as well, just like any normal large corporation. So with that given, I bet you're wondering, okay, so how do I get a job at Cedars-Sinai? Well, let me tell you. First off, you got to go to our career site, which is careers.cedars-sinai.edu. And once you go there, you find a position and you can go ahead and apply online. All candidates must apply online to be considered for a position. So it's very important that you apply online first, and we'll take it from there once you apply online. The other thing is that you have to make sure that you meet the minimum requirements for the position. So when you look at the job and you see what the minimum requirements are, if you don't meet the minimum requirements, you won't be considered for the position. So you'll just get a notification saying you're not qualified. And then once you do all that and you do apply for a position, then you get the opportunity to let me know that you have actually applied to a position. And then it's my responsibility to reach out to the recruiter to let them know that we have a military spouse that has applied to a position, and that we will go over the requirements for the position. We'll look at what it is that you have to offer. And if it looks like you're a good fit, then we'll work with the recruiter to make sure you get a call and at least an interview from our recruiter. If you happen to be one of the top candidates for that position, we will definitely be forwarding you on to the hiring manager at that time. And then hopefully after you interview and you get hired, we have a process. You have to come in, you will have to do a huge background check, drug testing, reference checks, and all that good stuff as well. A lot of our onboarding process is electronic now. So your offer letter will be sent electronically, and all our new hire paperwork will be sent electronically as well to you. You will have to come in to do a health screening as well as to finish the actual I-9 process as well. You have to come in for that. So hopefully that's we were able to answer all your questions, and hopefully you were able to find out exactly what we have to offer. So with that said, I'm open to taking any questions.
So if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Steve, we've got quite a few people that joined just in the last several minutes. Maybe just say who you are and what you do here again, just briefly, while we wait for a few questions to come in.
Outstanding. Yes, again, my name is Steve Bettini, and I am the military veterans recruiter here at Cedars-Sinai. And in my position, I work with finding veterans and military spouses to come work here. And I am the sole contact for individuals who want to come work here at Cedars-Sinai. So you got somebody that you can reach out to and get answers to or get feedback on what's happening with your process here at Cedars-Sinai.
And Laverne in the chat is thanking us for doing this. Laverne, you're very welcome.
Yes, thank you.
So while we wait for some other questions to come up, I have a few questions we could ask here. So you talked a little bit about some of the areas of focus we have. In these areas, do we have flexible hours for some of these positions?
Absolutely. We offer per diem on-call positions. We offer part-time and full-time positions as well. So whatever it is that you're looking for, and we have being that we are a medical center and we're open 24 hours, so we have day, evening, and night positions as well. So a lot of flexibility in there. If you only want to work 1 day a week, or work 2 days a week, or work full-time, if you want to work at night because of childcare or whatever it is that you have, whatever issues, we are very flexible with helping you. As long as there's openings for it, we'll definitely work with you.
Yeah. As far as preparing a resume, How would you suggest a military spouse talk about their frequent moves in their resume?
That's a very good question. But you can cover it a couple of different ways. You can address it in a cover letter, letting them know that that you are a military spouse and that your resume appears that you have jumped around a lot, but this is all due to your spouse being relocated due to military relocation. So at that point, you can handle that as well at that point, or you can also put it at the top. And the objective, letting people know that you are a military spouse and that the reason for some of your recent movements or frequent movements was due to you being going with your spouse during relocation.
And so you're talking about them doing that in a cover letter or in their resume. So you think it's okay to self-identify as a military spouse?
Absolutely. One of the biggest reasons is that you can let me know so that I can work with you individually and work with you and the recruiter to make sure that you're being taken care of and you don't drop through the cracks. That's one of the biggest reasons why I was hired and brought into this position, was to make sure that our veterans and our military spouses weren't dropping through the cracks, and that we were making sure that they were taken care of and at least getting back to them and letting them know what their status is.
Yeah. So, specifically on our application, if they did want to, self-identify, how would they do that?
In the application itself, it tells you, how did you hear about the position? So at that point, there is a drop-down menu that you can choose where we'll say military spouse employment partnership, or MSEP, in there. So it's always good to do that, because when a recruiter looks at the people who have applied, so if for whatever reason I don't get a hold of it right away, the recruiter sees the source in our applicant tracking system and how they applied to the position, and it'll see that you applied through the military spouse. Even if you didn't go through the MSAT's career site and you just went to our career site and looked up the job, definitely put down there that you heard about us through the MSAT organization. So,
if we, do actually employ one of these candidates, and they are forced to then move on, are any of our positions portable job opportunities?
Absolutely. We do. We are only located in the Southern California area. But with the healthcare experience, there's always hospital somewhere. If you get relocated to another military base with your spouse, there's always a hospital on the base, 9 times out of 10. If not, there is one in the community surrounding the area. Just like here in our community, we have 20 hospitals that are within 20 miles of us. So there are a lot of opportunities. And just to kind of give you some insight, it was just recently put out through Career Builder that we learned that the healthcare community has a lower unemployment rate than the national average. We're averaging about 1% unemployment. So with the baby boomers, it's predicted, and I think by 2025, that a quarter of the workforce is going to be over 55 years old. So there's going to be a huge need out there for healthcare workers going forward, at least for the next 20, 30 years, as our population ages. There's going to be a lot of need for healthcare workers out there.
So with so much competition for healthcare workers, how can a military spouse stand out among the other applicants?
Well, absolutely. You kind of want to make sure that you're putting in there that you some of the responsibilities that you had in the cover letter of being able to have to pick up and move your family and reestablish a relationship at a new post and stuff like that. So you want to give it to that everybody knows what a veteran brings to the table being in the service, but a lot of people aren't really up to date on what a spouse has to go through and making sure that their family's taken care of, especially when a spouse has to deploy and you're left back home by yourself for a year or even more. People don't realize what has to be done and what the responsibilities are. So you kind of want to cover that when you interview, or cover that in a cover letter to make sure that the hiring manager knows what exactly a military spouse has to go through.
That's great. We have some questions in the chat asking about our location. We've also had several other people join. Perhaps go back over a little bit about who you are and in particular about our organization.
Okay, outstanding. Yeah, again, my name is Steve Bettini. I am the military veterans recruiter here at Cedars-Sinai. We are located in the Los Angeles city, within our medical center. Our main location is in the city of Los Angeles, but we do have several locations throughout Los Angeles County and in Beverly Hills as well. We are one of the largest nonprofit academic teaching facilities in the United States. And then we recently were ranked as the 8th best hospital in the United States, based off of the U.S. News and World Report that's put out every year. We also are a huge research facility as well. And we are a magnet designated facility, which we have the honor of having been awarded that designation for the 5th consecutive time. And we are one of 9 hospitals worldwide that has the honor of saying that we've achieved that designation for 5 consecutive times.
That's definitely something we're proud of.
Yes.
Steve, some other folks are asking for your contact information. Your email address is here in the chat, but maybe just share it here on the video as well.
Yes, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. Like I said, I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I am going out and talking to a lot of people, career fairs and presentations and so forth, but I try to get back to everybody as within 24 hours of them getting out to me. But you can reach me through my email. It's Stephen, STEPHEN .Bettini. It's in BETTINI at CSHS.org.
Thank you. So we have a question from Laverne who's asking, do we hire senior citizens?
Absolutely. As long as you're qualified for the job, we will definitely consider you for the position. Senior citizens bring a lot of good skills to the table, a lot of maturity, a lot of experience that goes along with it. So obviously, we will consider anybody that comes to our jobs that's qualified.
Mm-hmm. We've also got a question about using LinkedIn in particular in recruitment efforts. When you view a LinkedIn profile, what makes it stand out?
Well, again, the main focus is on your LinkedIn profile is to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is geared toward the career that you're wanting to work in. So make sure that you identify areas that are relevant to the career field that you're wanting to apply to or work in. So that way, when people look up your profile, they don't see like a general profile. They'll see a profile that's geared toward the career field that you're wanting to actually go into. So it's vitally important that everything you do is geared toward the career field, especially your resume. It's one of my things that's near and dear to my heart is your resume should never be the same resume that's sent out twice. You should always gear your resume toward the job posting that you're applying to. So make sure that you look at what the qualifications are, look at what the job function is, and then say, okay, what is it that I did previously that would meet the requirements or meet the function of this particular position, and make sure your resume is built around that experience. Because you don't want a recruiter to read a bunch of stuff that's not relevant to the position that you're applying to. The more recruiters have to read, the quicker it is that they may move on to the next candidate. Recruiters have anywhere between 30 to 60 seconds to read a resume. So you want to make sure that you're getting everything up front, and that everything that's relevant to the job that you're applying to is up front in your resume for the recruiter to see right away.
Thanks, Steve. So as we wait for some additional questions perhaps to show up, what do you love the most about working here at Cedars-Sinai?
Well, Cedars is, first off, the fact that they actually have, a program that's geared around helping veterans. The fact that not only do I help identify veterans and find veterans, I also help out with our veterans here within the organization, and we are allowed to do a lot of training for our veterans, give them updates on our benefits and stuff, and that includes our spouses as well. They are included in everything that we do out here. So we have a big Veterans Day celebration, so our spouses who work here as well are invited to that celebration along with the veterans. We do training on updates on pay and benefits, and we also allow our veterans to come in and talk to VA service claims reps to file claims. So I'm really happy that the company is doing a lot and has identified that we need to do as much as possible to help our veterans. Cedars is a very professional organization. They have very high standards, so it's very much like being in the military. So it's like you step out of your boots into your loafers and you look like you never left. You just change uniforms. So that's what's most of it. And they also are a very caring organization. Not only are they professional, but they're very caring. They do a lot with the community. Being that we're nonprofit, we don't have to worry about helping or making a bunch of people, happy that are outside the organization. We just have to worry about our people that work within the organization and making sure they're happy, being a nonprofit. So that's what's really nice about working for this organization.
So we have a question here from Domika. Are there any opportunities available for spouses overseas?
No, we only are located here in the Los Angeles area, so we don't have any locations overseas or anything outside the Southern California area right now. We do have 2 medical centers here. We have one in the Los Angeles area and in the Marina Del Rey area as well, another small medical center, but that's the extent of our current locations. Who knows, maybe somewhere in the future we may be moving overseas, and I definitely want to go work there if we do. But right now, no, unfortunately, we don't have any openings outside of the Los Angeles area.
Thank you. If you were to share some top tips for networking, both among people outside of Cedars-Sinai, but also once you joined, perhaps how you sort of network and get to know an organization our size.
Yeah, absolutely. Inside the organization, you definitely, the old saying is get your foot in the door. If you don't get your job that you really want to get into, if you can get into anything within the organization and then network within the organization, reaching out and letting managers know that, hey, I got this experience and I'd love to come work for you. There's nothing better than actually walking up to somebody and, like I like to put it, is grin and grip, is smile and shake their hand, and then let them know what you're looking for. Even if it's at the at a minimum is to come in and volunteer within our organization as well, and people get in. We also have temporary positions here as well. They don't come with benefits, but it gets you in the organization, gets you around, and no better way to network than be working in the organization and during your lunch walking around and introducing yourself to people, or on your day off coming in and walking around and helping and trying to find out who it is. And on the outside, Cedars is well known throughout the community, throughout the United States, as a great place to work. We are at a lot of conferences and so forth and so on. So it's always good to be part of professional organizations and get out there and network and go to their conferences and stuff, because more than likely we will be there. And if you're wanting to find out which ones we'll be at, we have our website as well, and we put it out that if you're on there, we'll let you know when we're going to be at a certain conference or whatever, and you can come out and talk to us if we happen not to be in that area at that time. So it's a good way to get out, and not only with Cedars, but with any organization out there. It's good to get out to those conferences and network with people as well. And LinkedIn, get on there and just connect with anybody that would be in an area that you would be interested to work in.
So as military spouses, transfer frequently, licensing can be, difficult when you move from one state to another often. Do we offer any support for that in moving your license from one state to here to California?
Unfortunately, or I shouldn't say unfortunately, but we try to help out as much as possible, but everything is run through the state. So you have to be able to apply, and the state of California is not known to be one of the more faster people out there. I know there is a lot of initiatives that are going through right now with MSAT and several other, the VA and everybody, trying to get states to recognize this and allow people transferring or coming in there because of military transfer to expedite the process and be able to get your license and be certified to work in there. I guess they call it reciprocity, where you can come in and just file the paperwork and not have to worry about it and get your temporary license. So at least you could come in and work in the capacity until your actual license comes in. So I know there's a lot of efforts going on with that, but we can help as much as possible, but we can only do as much as the state will allow us to do.
So now might be another good time just to remind people who you are and what organization we're representing.
Absolutely. Well, again, my name is Steve Bettini. I am with Cedars-Sinai, and we are one of the largest hospitals, academic hospital, teaching hospitals in the United States. My position here is the military veterans recruiter. My job is to find veterans and spouses, military spouses, to come work here. Active duty members, I should say, of military spouses of active duty members to come work for us. I am your sole contact within the organization. If you have any questions, my job is to make sure that you are taken care of and that your experience here applying for positions goes as smooth as possible. And it's my job to make sure I get the spouses and veterans connected with the recruiters. But you have to let me know that you've applied. So I allow all of our military veterans and spouses to reach out to me and let me know that you have applied to a specific position. And then I will contact the recruiter and see about expediting the process and making sure that you get taken care of, as long as you meet the minimum requirements for the job.
Thank you. We have Cheryl here in the chat who is looking to change careers. She used to be a teacher, and she's looking for a career in healthcare because we're growing. So maybe talk a little bit about the healthcare industry.
Okay. Yeah, the healthcare industry is one of the fastest growing industries out there. Right now, I just was reading the other day that the healthcare industry is now the largest employer in the United States, that they have more people working in the healthcare industry than in retail and in manufacturing. So you can tell that we have grown. I think healthcare was behind those other industries, just like 5 years ago. We were like 1 million or 7 million less jobs than they had, and now we have surpassed them as the largest employer. Healthcare is as the largest employer in the United States. So it is a great opportunity to be able to get into the healthcare industry. And like I mentioned earlier, you don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a doctor to work in the healthcare industry. We have all kinds of other positions, like in finance and marketing and administrative and clerical positions that you can get into, and then find out what it is that is your niche, and then go out and take classes and get licensed as an RN, or get licensed as an X-ray technician, or in something of that nature, because a lot of those positions will require you to go to school, will require you to be educated, and then come out and get trained, more training once you graduate, to come here and get more training as well.
And as a teacher, we have positions in education as
Absolutely.
well.
Yes.
So you may have some of the specific skills we're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And in a lot of our jobs, like I also mentioned earlier, and that is just getting your foot in the door and then working your way around, finding out exactly what it is that you would need to have to be considered for that position, and then working at it while you're still working here at Cedars-Sinai. But we do offer tuition assistance as well. So we will help you as well, help you achieve your goal, whatever it may be.
That's fantastic. So again, you're welcome to drop questions in the chat. In the meantime, Steve, if you had Any other sort of, advice to share with people? Any sort of closing remarks? What's on your mind? What would you like to share with people?
Well, it's just this is an outstanding organization, and it's a privilege to work here, and I hope you'll see that the same way as I do, and reach out to us and try to get a position here at Cedars-Sinai. Don't give up. Keep trying. Like I said, we are a very well-known organization, so there are a lot of people who are wanting to come work here besides yourself. So it is important that you keep trying. We do get sometimes hundreds of people applying for a position within the first 10 minutes that it's posted online. So it's very important that you keep looking into our career site, and our career site does allow you to get job notifications when a position opens up as well. So you'll get the email first, and then allow you to get in there and make sure that you're at the top of the list when you do apply. So I highly recommend that you get the job notification as well. So that not only can you go on to the MSEP career site or go on to our career site, but you'll get a notification in email. That doesn't mean that you have to sit there and live next to the computer looking at jobs waiting for something to open up. We will notify you when it does open up. So just keep trying and just keep plugging away. And like I said, reach out to me, utilize me, because that's what I'm being paid for, and that's why they brought me into this position. So don't feel that you're bugging me or anything like that, but just definitely reach out, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible.
Maybe share your email address one more time.
Yeah, one more time. Yep, we'll get it. It's Stephen, STEPHEN Bettini, which is B as in boy, ETTINI at CSHS.org.
Very nice. So this has been really great.
This has been fun. I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys out there have learned something, and you feel a little bit more comfortable with what Cedars-Sinai can offer our military spouses. And again, I just want to thank MSET for allowing us to come on here and present and be able to let everybody know what a great organization we have here and how you can become part of it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.